Do you like Donald Trump?
I like his wig.
I love his wig too. It's so glorious and fluffy, like aslas asafalata salaha.
Exactly like that. Exactly like that.
Exactly.
Yes. No, we have to do things like this. I mean, much more. We have to do things like this. Why did we leave? Welcome to the Naughty Dog Agenda, the only fan-dedicated Naughty Dog podcast on the interwebs. I am Keith Healy, and I love Naughty Dog, and I'm here with Nick, who I think likes them too.
Yeah, they're alright.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So this episode of this podcast is quite obvious by the title. Obviously, I said obviously. You know, I used both types of obvious in one sentence there. Now I sound drunk, but I'm losing Nick talk. My mind's getting scrambled with words.
What Keith is trying to say is this episode is going to start off with some fucking news, and then we're going to go into some in-depth fucking talking about the fucking history of Jak and Daxter. So, Keith, why don't you spin us off with the fucking news?
Well, okay. Naughty Dog Agenda News, the most weird jingle to a news segment ever.
It's the news. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
a limited edition Uncharted 4 PS4 bundle is coming out on April 26th, the release date of Uncharted 4. So yeah, it was just announced, and it's a completely custom PS4, a completely custom PS4 and a completely custom PS4 controller. It looks very sexy in my opinion. It looks very nice. It's baby blue, and Nathan Drake's silhouette is on it there, holding his gun, and it's gone all black and white, looking all serious, and it just looks beautiful. It looks fantastic. It looks very nice. To commemorate, I'm going to read an article here about it. This is from John Kohler from the PlayStation blog. To commemorate Uncharted 4's April 26th release date, we're rolling out the red or blue carpet with special limited edition Uncharted 4 PlayStation 4 bundle. Unlike Nathan Drake, you don't need to trek through Madagascar to find this treasure. Just pick one up in the US and Canada. But yeah, it's coming out in the US and Canada for $399.99 or $499.99 Canadian dollars. The bundle includes a limited edition 500GB PlayStation 4 in grey blue featuring a silk-screened image of Nathan Drake, as well as a matching DualShock 4 and a copy of Uncharted 4 at Thief's End on Blu-ray. The limited edition PS4 also features the PlayStation logo. Oh, lovely, thanks for that. That's like a feature, the PlayStation logo. Uncharted logo, oh wow, another amazing feature. And the phrase, Sic Parvis Magna, in gold. Is that real gold? Because if it isn't, that would put the price of this up crazy. In gold, sic pravis magna is Latin for greatness from small beginnings, and is the same phrase engraved on Drake's ring. Drake's ring, he lost that ring. As a bonus, if you pre-order the limited edition Uncharted 4 PS4 bundle, you'll receive a voucher for an Uncharted Drake's Fortune outfit, golden weapon skin, and Uncharted points to use in multiplayer mode. Oh, how exciting. I don't think anyone gives a shit. We also sell the grey blue Shock 4 separately in early March ahead of the release of the bundle for $64.99 US dollars, or $89.99 Canadian dollars. So yeah, that's really nice. Lastly though, there's also an added bonus. Lastly, a limited edition grey-blue version of the gold wireless headset, the gold wireless headset is what I'm wearing on my head at the moment, will be available in early March for $19.99 US dollars, or $119.99 Canadian dollars. This limited edition headset, which is the perfect companion for the Uncharted 4 multiplayer, features the same grey-blue colour as the PS4 included in the bundle, as well as the PlayStation logo with sick Parvis manga in gold. Magna, sorry. A custom Uncharted 4 audio mode they're going to put an audio mode, a custom audio mode for the headset. That's good news for me, because I love this headset and the custom modes are awesome. So yeah, they're going to have a headset companion app. They're going to add an Uncharted 4 sound profile to that, so that's awesome. So yeah, all this is going to be released on April 26th, and yeah, that's pretty much that. If I had the money, I'd buy it, and if it was coming out here, I'd buy it, but fuck them, they're only releasing it in the US and Canada. So sorry to everyone else outside the US and Canada, you're going to have to import it. So yeah, Nick, thoughts?
That's great. I really, it is a really sharp looking system, and I think that it's going to sell quite well. Oh, well. And how much was it again?
The headset?
Yeah.
The headset is $99 US dollars.
That's actually not that bad.
No.
For a headset like that.
And trust me, I'm wearing it on my head at the minute. It's fucking fantastic. It's a great headset. It's the most comfortable headset I've ever worn in my life. It's a great headset. I said headset 10 times.
Yeah, that's okay. So do you want me to break into the next segment?
Yeah, go on.
Still gonna ramble on.
I need to take a swig of water, so go on.
All right. So, as many of us veteran Naughty Dog fans are out there and stuff, most of us know about a particular series that really sent Naughty Dog on its way to greatness. You know, a little series known as Jak and Daxter. As many of you know, Jak and Daxter is a very beloved series to Naughty Dog, and practically everyone in the Naughty Dog company fucking loves the series and has their memorabilia fucking thrown about the place everywhere.
Personally, it's my favourite gaming series of all time, so that's... And I'm I am like a really stubborn bastard when it comes to video games, and Jak is my favourite game series of all time, is really saying something.
It's about the same for me as well. Like, the only contender I really have is Assassin's Creed, but that's literally would all change if Jak 4 was to be announced. But I'm getting ahead of myself, and let us break into some hardcore facts about Jak and Daxter.
So yeah, we'll start from the beginning. After the development of Crash 3, Naughty Dog pretty much got PlayStation 2 dev kits. They started while most of the team started working on Crash Team Racing. What the fuck are you at, Nick?
What the fuck are you talking about?
All I hear is noise everywhere.
I'm in a fucking quiet room.
Well, what is it?
It's the fucking chair.
I thought you were on your bed.
I had to charge the phone. It was at 4%.
Oh, okay, whatever. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, Naughty Dog, most of the Naughty Dog team, Jesus Christ, most of the Naughty Dog, are you trolling me, like?
What?
Are you seriously trolling me? I don't know if the sound is that loud there, but over here it's like fucking ringing in my ears. Like that, how can you not? You're doing this on purpose.
I'm not.
You fucking dickhead.
I'm not doing it on purpose. Do you
Fuck
want me
you.
to stand up for the next hour?
Sit on your bed. What's wrong with that? Oh, you needed
Because
a
it's a
charger.
fucking
You needed a
charger.
charger. Why do you have such a noisy chairs?
I can't fucking help.
Oh man.
Okay, you just fucking continue from the top.
Okay, so after Crash 3 was shipped, Naughty Dog pretty much got PlayStation 2 dev kits. And they were thinking about what they're going to do for the next series. So most of the team moved on to Crash Team Racing to kind of like say goodbye to the Crash series, while Andy Gavin and about three other people started developing started developing a new engine for what their new PS2 IP was going to be. Andy Gavin was pretty much, and a few other people were pretty much doing this solo, and while everyone else was working on Crash Team Racing. And yeah, when Crash Team Racing was done and shipped, everyone moved over and started pre-production on what would eventually become Jak and Daxter. The original Jak and Daxter concepts were very different to what actually came out. There was there was lots of Jack looked like a little cat thing. He looked like a little animal yolk. Daxter was supposed to be like, oh, I don't know, he was weird thing, like a fucking wombat kind of thing. I don't know what a wombat is. But yeah, and there's also supposed to be a third main character. But that was scrapped later on because they realized that, hey, that's too much shit to do. So yeah, I'm showing early concepts here on the screen, and it's really interesting stuff. It's really if you're into game development, if you're into like how games are made and all, this is really cool stuff of like how things changed. Also, Naughty Dog were the pioneers of in-house like discussing and like getting around the table and discussing concepts and all, and and cancelling out concepts and cancelling out everything. Like before, like they would have just hired at this time game developers would have just hired artists and done whatever they wrote, like whatever character designs or whatever they wrote, they would have just put that in the game. Like, oh yeah, that's fine, you're an artist, you know what you're talking about. But with Naughty Dog, everyone got around the table, everyone spewed around their ideas, and everyone like they all cancelled out. Like, oh, we don't like this concept, let's do another concept. We don't like this concept, let's do another concept. That's common now. That's how all games are made now. But back then, Naughty Dog were one of the first people to do that. So yeah, they kept on rolling. They kept going on with the pre-production of Jak and Daxter series while making a fantastic I can't tell you how like this game is so technically fucking, it's so the first Jak and Daxter, all the Jak and Daxters, the first Jak and Daxter is so technical superior to nearly every other PS2 game. I can't even explain in words how it is. The engine that Andy Gavin and the rest of Naughty Dog made is just a complete masterpiece. It is a perfect engine for the game. It is like, it suits Jak and Daxter absolutely perfectly. No load screens. What are you saying, Nick?
I was going to say, I guess you were pretty much saying the perfect engine for the perfect game.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
We're pretty much.
I was going to say that, but I was like, that's a bit fanboy.
No, you know what? Let's be fanboy, because guess what? You're going to get a lot of fanboys on this.
Fair enough. Yeah. Hello, fellow fanboys. But oh shit! I spilled my water. So yeah, where was I? What was I talking? Oh yeah, the engine. So yeah, the end. Yeah, so from the beginning, well, not from the beginning, but from very, very early on, Naughty Dog put down in stone that they wanted to make an open world game that was better than any open world game ever made. They wanted no loading screens. Yeah, no loading screens. When was this? 2000. They were thinking of having no loading screens in 2000. Look at games today. Fucking Bloodborne, when it first came out, had like 30-minute long loading screens every time you fucking died. But I'm gonna get hate for hating on Bloodborne. I've never played Bloodborne, but I know the loading screens are unacceptable in it, and I know they patch them out.
I've played
Bloodborne. Yep.
Yeah, I played. I couldn't get past the first fucking mission. I could. That's the prison. It was ridiculous.
But did you play it pre-patch or after the patch?
I have no idea. I played it in December.
So after the patch. But yeah, before the patch, Bloodborne was like really, like the loading times are unacceptable apparently. But yeah, in 2000, Naughty Dog were like, yeah, we don't want any loading screens once you're in the world. and they fucking succeeded. They did have hidden loading screens like the elevators and things opening up and all, but there was no fucking splash screen in your face saying loading, loading, loading. No, it's just you never put your controller down. That it was awesome. They also wanted a day-night cycle, which every game has today, and I think GTA 3, which came out about a month before Jak 1, or 2 months before Jak 1, had a day-night cycle too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was another thing they wanted. So yeah, they started to develop, and then they started developing the game. They done so much stuff that to manipulate the PS2 hardware that they weren't allowed to do, but that they done, and that fucking made the game so much better than any other game on the PS2, in my opinion. For example, they used the PS1 emulation, like the PS1 emulation hardware inside the PS2 to their advantage. They actually used, like, you could say Jak 1 is a fusion. It's like a hybrid of both a PS1 and a PS2 game, because it has a PS1 elements inside the game, because they use things that could only run on PS1 that wouldn't really work on PS2, and they use the emulator to run them, and then like make it seamlessly. Like it's hard to explain, but it's such a clever thing to do. It's just crazy, some of the technical shit they do. It's just unbelievable. I'm gonna stop talking about the behind the scenes stuff, and I'm gonna let Nick start talking about the story now, because that's more of his zone.
Okay, so pretty much the main plot of the games begins with the Precursor legacy, which is a much lighter toned story than as the series went and took itself off on. The plot mainly focuses around Jak, and I'm going to read this off of the wiki. Samos Hagi and Kira Hagi. I guess that's their last name. I didn't know that until just now.
No, they never really said their last name in the games.
Well, apparently on the wiki they're called
Yeah,
Hagi.
yeah, no,
H-A-G.
that's their official name, but they never actually said it, which is weird.
Yeah, they never said it, but that is their official name.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And so basically what it is the plot focuses on Jak, Samos, and Kira as they gather power cells. And I don't know why they forgot to include Daxter. He's like the main character anyways. Literally, he's the voice of Jak. Like, that's like, if you've noticed with Jak and when Daxter talks, Daxter's doing the talking.
Yeah, the reason I was about to mention that, the reason for that is because they really regretted it afterwards, but they said that they were hell bent. Well, Jason Rubin mostly was hell bent on making Jak a mute. He didn't want Jak to talk at all, because he wanted the character to relate with Jak, and he didn't want Jak to say something stupid, so the player would hate Jak and like, oh, I don't want to play as this fucker, you know. So that's why. But Daxter was okay, because Daxter could say anything, because you're not playing as Daxter. Like, you could hate Daxter if you wanted, you know. It was a good concept, but it didn't really work out well, because Jak was just really quiet, and people didn't like it. It didn't really get well received. It was probably one of the only parts of the game that wasn't really well received, and he did say he regretted that straight away, and straight away in Jak 2 they're like, yeah, Jak needs a voice.
It's funny that you should say that, because I have the exact opposite feeling for that.
Really?
I love the fact that Jak was mute in the first game. I don't know why. It led to so much more mystery. Like, you couldn't get into Jak's head or figure out why, what his goals were, or anything. And the thing that was interesting was that Daxter was basically Jak's voice. Because if you look and you play through the games, if you look when Daxter talks, Daxter does the talking, but Jak does all of the facial expressions to what he says. It's like they're fusing together. It's fucking so perfectly done, and I bet you they didn't even realize they did that. But like, what Daxter's saying, that's what Jak is thinking half the time. It's quite crazy how that works. So, basically the story goes with Jak, Samos, and Kira gathering power cells and Daxter to travel to the world in search of a cure for Daxter. And he pretty much was fucking transformed into what is known as an Otzel, an orange and yellow being that kind of looks like Crash Bandicoot from another dimension, as I said, and other things. But that's pretty much what he looks like. He was transformed by Dark Eco, which is a fucking disgusting substance that fucking probably smells like shit and tastes like asshole. That and later was it just. That's the substance of Dark Eco. He fell into the pit because fucking Jak decided to fucking go to Misty Island and pretty much be like the worst best friend ever and fucking throw and fucking get them tied into this huge fucking story that was way beyond them, both of them, and they fucking got caught and things happened and fucking shots were fired and fucking Daxter went completely into the dark shit. So, following the Precursor legacy, the games took on a very much darker tone, a grittier tone, as
And
Wikia would say.
before you get into Jak 2, I'm going to have to talk about the development of Jak 2, aren't I? And what the hell happened to me either? What the fuck was that laugh?
The laugh that needs to be fucking accompanied by your retarded.
Anyway, yeah, so the development in Jak 2, as I said, from the start, actually, I got to tell you an interesting story that Jason Rubin said. So basically, they finished Jak 1, they got rave reviews, they were like, oh, very happy, we're cool, we've made a good game, pat in the back, let's move on. So basically moved on, and they started doing pre-production on Jak 2, and they had all these concepts and all, and they showed it to and then they saw GTA, and they're like, they saw how massively more popular GTA was, and they're like, gamers are growing up. I don't think they want like platformers anymore, but like, fuck it, we're gonna do platformers too because we're different. So yeah, they drew up like it was gonna be very similar to the first game. They drew up like they're just gonna extend on the first game, and they drew up all these new concepts and all, and they showed it to a focus group of like 6 to 10-year-olds, I think it was, and the 6 to 10-year-olds looked at them and go, yeah, this looks cool. It's like something my little brother would play. And they looked at him and they were like, but you're 10. And he's like, yeah, but my little brother would play it. They're like, what games do you like? He's like, oh, I like GTA and things like this. And even kids wouldn't like these games now. And they fucking came to a realization that, yeah, we need to go for a darker tone. Gamers are growing up. They don't want like cartoony platformers anymore. They want gritty stories. They want more gritty games. So that conceived into Jak 2. So that's why Jak 2 was so much vastly different to Jak 1.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's a little backstory on it. And it makes sense, because,
you have to move with the times. I agree with what they've done. You have to move with the times. You can't just...
When the gaming world changes so much, so should the series.
Yeah.
So, and they did it in such a way that is incredible.
Can I just say this? What other developers would have the balls to take what they had, take a series they had, and completely... I've never seen this in any other game. Completely overhaul it to where it's nearly unidentifiable, but yet it still makes sense. Who else would do that? Who else has done that? Who else had the balls to do that? And who else has done that properly? And who else has successfully done that? It's insane how different these games are, yet they're still the same story, and they're still the same games. They still feel the same. It's so fucking crazy.
Speaking of that, there is a game that's that did do that recently too.
What game's that?
Very similar. It wasn't as big of a thing. Bioshock Infinite to the other Bioshocks was completely different than all the other ones.
I've never played it.
It had a different setting. It was not taken underwater. The powers were slightly different. The fucking graphics were completely overhauled, and it used a completely different fucking control scheme. It was completely different. Probably a different engine too. I'm not sure.
Did they succeed in it? I mean, I remember Infinite getting good reviews, I think.
It did get good reviews. I personally thought it was okay. It's fun at first, but then if you go back and play the other ones and then go and play that one, only real reason you're going to play Infinite was for the graphics. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. Jak 2. Let's see. Where am I going at for this? Okay, so basically what happens in Jak 2 is you get a really nice opening. It starts you off at Sandover Village right after, if you were a hardcore player like me and Keith, or Keith and me, and collected all 101 power cells, or 100. I think that's the
101.
Bare minimum.
101. No, 100 is the minimum, and then 101 is all of them.
Yeah, so 101 power cells. You collect them all, you open up the Precursor door, and then you have Daxter like, wow, what is it?
And that was
all that other good
stuff. By the way, that's the only thing I've really that's like one thing. That's like the only thing I can think of that I disdain about the Jak series, that ending. I disdain it. I fucking hate it with a passion.
Why?
It's such a cock block. It is such a I mean, Jesus Christ. You go around, you like say you had no internet at this time, and I didn't anyway. Go around, get all these power cells, finally find the last one, you're so happy, you're so excited, you go back to Maya's fucking citadel, you climb all that shit again, you go up, finally, all the power cells go into the door, it opens, they're all going, oh my god, what is it? End. Fuck you!
I fucking I fucking loved it.
What? Really?
But most, yeah,
Why?
I liked it because well, for one fact, I knew that it made me know that there was going to be another game
Well,
coming out,
true.
and two, I already played Jak 2,
Uh,
so I knew what the fuck it
you
was.
didn't 100% check one, did you? Before you played Jack 2?
No, I didn't. I
Oh,
just beat the story, and that's all I wanted.
alright.
So, but the door. So that's how the first Jak game ended, and then pretty much it continues like right where they left off, and it just shows you get the fucking Rift Gate, which is a big circular fucking thing, which nobody knows what it is, and the other thing, the fucking what is it called? The Rift Rider? Is
Yep,
that what it's called?
that's it, yeah.
They get the Rift Rider, which is what they use to go into this thing. And it just starts off with the same innocent scene. Like, it was literally from Jak 1. That's exactly what it felt like. It was Jak 1 repeating itself. That's what it felt like at first. But the minute you go through that teleporter, and the minute shit starts going down and the plot of Jak 2 unfurls, the game completely changed. It, like, goes through a metamorphosis of literally 60 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's changed immediately. All that shit that you did in the other game is like gone. It's like this is the new beginning. This is how a new beginning for a game should be. It's a completely different setting, like futuristic, fucking floating hovers things, fucking TV flat screen things around, fucking a language now written out that nobody understands. Just a whole bunch of shit happens. So basically, Jak 2 travels on the Rift Rider through the Rift Gate acquired at the end of the Precursor Legacy, in which you basically arrive in a city known as Haven City, which is which then following that you get kidnapped by the Crimson Guard and forced to participate in the Dark Warrior program, in which he is experimented on, probably for the whole 2 years. You see, I don't think that Jak was just experimented on just that once. I think it was a gradual
Oh
thing.
no, he was
You know,
he was tortured and experimented on for 2 years.
and that's what brought about um, something known as a what's the proper name? Dark Jak is what you can call it.
Yeah,
So,
Dark Warrior program. They're trying to make Dark Warriors like so. Like they're
mhm,
trying to make an army of Dark Jacks, pretty much.
which that would be a really cool. Like, I would like to see something like that in Jak 4. Like, you have to fight against a whole army of those fuckers. That would be cool. But enough about that. Anyways, so Jak manages to escape prison. He manages to escape
With
prison
the help of Daxter.
with the help of Daxter, which that story in the whole 2 years from him is taking place in another game called Daxter, which is in between the two of them.
We should just talk
And
about
before
Daxter here now.
b-
Now,
before
actually.
before I continue, like I was going to say, why don't we turn it over to Keith so he can fucking talk about the technical boring shit about it.
Daxter. Now, this is Daxter. Daxter wasn't made by Naughty Dog. It was made by
Oh no, it wasn't made by Naughty Dog? That must mean it isn't good. But was it good?
It was
Fuck yeah.
it was made by Ready at Dawn Studios with the supervision of Naughty Dog, and the game was fucking fantastic. It was a great game. It was a very simple platformer. You got little bug sprays. Your little the story though. The story is what was great about it. The story was perfect. I mean, aside from a few plot holes, and aside from a few characters who just disappear and never seen again, the story, like every little detail is fucking caught in it. Even like even Daxter getting Jak's new treads. I mean, they throw the new treads at him, and he goes up in a little elevator thing in Baron Praxis' palace, and like he's actually it's crazy to fucking detail, and yeah, I just love the game. It's a great game, and I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's a Naughty Dog podcast, and Naughty Dog didn't make the game. Like they didn't make another Jak. No, wait, what? No, I don't know what I'm talking about there. But yeah, yeah, Daxter's a great game. It's on PSP. If you don't have a PSP, it's on PS Vita. Get it on Vita. It's gone. It's like $9.99 at most, and it's well worth it. It's a great little game. And if you're a Jak fan, you'll love it.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically what happens in Daxter is, this is basically what happens while Jak is being experimented on and all that good shit. Daxter is busy having a career at being a bug squasher, and I think the bugs were like little metalheads or something, like an infestation,
Yeah, yeah.
like little things. And basically, at the end of the game, Daxter takes on a giant fucking bug, which is pretty much like another character in Jak
Yeah,
2.
that guy was like Baron Praxis's bitch. Oh no, he wasn't. He was
Yeah,
Core's bitch. He was Metalcore's bitch.
yeah, he was Metalcore's bitch. So, and pretty much, if you look in the story of that, you can actually find out like when Core is going to be an old man and knows about Jak and is going to greet Jak.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's a bunch of, and even Count Veigar makes an appearance in the game, which I thought was really cool because he was not in Jak 2 at all. So, but aside from that, Daxter happens, and the game pretty much ends with Daxter going up on the little lift thing, which is so fucking awesomely done. Because the minute that Jak 2 starts, he's coming up on that rift thing.
Yeah,
Daxter just got done crushing a giant fucking bug.
yeah,
Literally. He just went through some shit. So he feels all high and mighty, and that's why Daxter's all flipping out when Jak is like, oh, you know.
yeah.
And so it really ties in quite well. So, anyways, Jak 2 happens, and basically, when you escape from the prison, basically, you start learning more about the world and how you are now trapped in this world and can basically never return home. And you basically start fighting against the Metalhead armies by linking up with a group called the Underground, who's trying to overthrow the Baron, also known as the guy who fucking puts you in the can. So, basically that whole game happens, and you know the victors always goes to the fucking good guy. And then let us break into Jak 3. Let's get some of the technical boring fucking shit.
So
Go.
Jak 3 was, in the words of Naughty Dog, rushed. Now, don't go mad.
Rushed.
Don't go mad. Don't go mad. Naughty Dog themselves have said the game was rushed. I fucking love the game. I think it's fantastic, but you can tell it was rushed. It was made in less than a year, and the fact that they made that game in less than a fucking year blows my mind. In less than a year, Naughty Dog were able to build a whole new map on top of another map, a mad fucking gigantic desert. Wrap up the story in, albeit not a really, in a story that needed a bit more work, in fairness, but a very fucking grabbing and emotional story. They were able to fucking make Haven City a fucking war zone with explosions everywhere and fucking a war going on while you fucking play the game with no frame drops and no fucking technical issues at all. You don't have no idea how hard that fucking would have been to do. In less than a year, a whole other map in Spargus, so you pretty much have two Haven cities in that gigantic fucking desert, and redo everything else, and fucking extra guns, extra game mechanics, extra fucking... The fact, yes, the game was rushed. The game was rushed, but fucking hell, the amount they got done in a year blows my mind. I mean, Nick,
Yeah.
do you know the way... This is why I love Jak so much. Jak doesn't play it safe. Jak and Daxter doesn't play it safe. Jak and Daxter 1, a cartoony platformer when cartoony platformers were going out of business. Jak 2, a fucking completely overhaul your critically acclaimed cartoony platformer, like one of the last cartoon... Why do I keep saying cartoon? One of the last platformers in existence. Well, not in existence, but one of the last main big budget platformers ever made. And just overhaul it. All the critical acclaim could fucking be topped on its head. They just change it completely, everything. And then for Jak 3, with given a fucking year to do it, they just do all this shit. I mean, it just shows you, this is why I respect Naughty Dog so much, the balls they have when they make their games, the effort they put into their games, the fucking passion they have for making games, to be able to do this. The fact that they don't care what people are going to say if they do this, the fact they just do what they want to do.
Yeah. Definitely.
I didn't say much technical
So,
stuff about it because I don't really know much about it, but I'm sure it's similar to Jak 1 and Jak 2, where it was like they wanted no loading screens, which they succeeded in. I mean, you can switch from Spargus to Haven City. You can say that cutscene is a loading screen, but if you skip that cutscene, you get like a 3-second black screen, and that's it. You're right back in Haven City. It's fucking insane how they done that. No game has done that since. No game. Tell me a game where you can switch from one map to another in 3 seconds.
you can't.
You
I
can't.
really haven't seen anything like that
No.
before. And the sad thing is since Jak and Daxter was like the first game I ever played, I was so used to that, like being
It was the
spoiled,
first
you
game you
know.
ever played?
It wasn't the first game I ever played. It was the first series I ever gave a shit about and
Oh,
actually really enjoyed.
okay.
And I was like really like literally the only game that could this is actually I have not really told anyone about this, but there's only one game besides Assassin's Creed, and I mean this game is even made better than Assassin's Creed, okay? There's only one game that can even compete with the engine of Jak and Daxter. Only one game. And that is Super Mario Sunshine.
I
You would
agree.
never put the controller down.
I
You will
com-
never put the controller down
I
for that
completely
fucking
agree.
game.
I completely agree.
That game is incredible. Just like Jak and Daxter has the same platformy feel to it. Fucking a million places you can go and fucking load screens that fucking last like fucking 3 seconds and you're there. Perfect. That is like the ideal perfect game. A game that keeps you involved constantly and you just can keep fucking playing it without feeling like you have to go up and get a drink. No, you're gonna sit your ass there and keep fucking playing until you get called for dinner. That is the ideal game. Anyways, so Jak 3. So Jak and Dexter. Dexter. I said
Dexter,
fucking
you
Dexter.
fucking
I need to
get
go.
out of
I need
here!
to go
Get
find
out of
myself.
here!
I need to go.
Get out of
Find
here!
myself.
Dexter! You cunt!
I said, I know. Jak and Daxter and Pecker are
Nice to be calling
cast
Jak
out.
Jax.
Yeah,
Jax and Dexter.
JACK.
Jax and Dexter.
Jack said, Jak and Daxter and Pecker are cast out from Haven City.
Well, Pecker
Only
isn't.
to be
Pecker just like it's like
he just tags along.
yeah.
So
But
are cast
Daxter isn't
out.
either. Daxter just skulls with him as well. He saves a Jak.
Right. Yeah, so he's trying to save Jak again. So both him
I mean,
and Pecker.
Daxter's hated him. I'm just gonna say this. Daxter seems to be hated among like the general public that aren't like hardcore Jak fans. The people that like, oh yeah, these games are cool. They seem to all hate Daxter. I can see why he is quite. I don't find him annoying. I find him funny, but I can see why people can find him annoying. But the thing is, if you go through the story and look at the story, he is so good to Jak. I mean, he may be a bit of a dickhead here and there, but he is such a good friend to Jak. I mean, he's six feet
Mhm.
through thick and thin. He never leaves him. He never leaves him.
Even if he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't want to, he's always just like, oh, okay.
Hmm.
So, I mean, yeah. But anyways, so Jak, Daxter, and Pecker, they are now in quite a predicament. You know, they're banished from Haven City, basically. So, but they do get discovered by Damus, who is a very peculiar figure in the game. Uh, almost like a father figure to Jak. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And forced to prove his worth in Spargus. Like he gets brought into a whole new city of outcasts. Like all these people, like probably either committed horrible crimes or were just fucking displeased with Praxis was displeased with or whatever, and they formed their own community in the fucking desert. How badass is that? Desert people who hunt metalheads to eat. Fucking hell, that's amazing. So,
It's like Mad Max. It reminds me
um,
of.
mm-hmm. So pretty much the game starts off with you in an arena to test your fucking metal. Like you start off in a fucking arena, like it goes straight to the action. You are fighting immediately. If you skip all the cutscenes, you are fighting. That's it. You're fight. Well, actually, no. You're doing a little obstacle course, but very soon you're fighting. So
How long did it take you to get a gun in
um,
Jak 1? Like, how many? Like, 7 missions? 6 missions?
what to get good in Jak
To
1?
get guns.
Oh, guns, and it took like 7 missions.
Yeah.
In Jak 3, you got the gun like the second mission.
Yeah.
Literally, the second mission, you got the gun. And then after you beat the first mission, you get your next gun. It's just snap, 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 you getting shit.
It's much more fast paced than any other Jak game.
So pretty much the minute you set foot in Spargus City, you already have 2 guns and the ability to fucking ride on shit. So yeah.
Ride on shit.
And when you
Ride on,
and when you finally
what are they called? What was their actual names?
Leaping Lizard.
Leaper
Ride
lizards.
me, Leaping Lizard. Leaping Lizards.
Hello.
So
I'm
pretty much
Tifa.
before you even go into, they did it in such a sneaky way. They made you explore the whole city by placing these 6 rats that are fucking like literally on all the corners of the map, and you just ride this leaping lizard throughout the whole entire map before you can even walk it and enjoy it at your own pace.
Can I just say tactics in here? Do you know a
What?
very fucking clever thing they done?
What?
Do you know Fluff Fluff from Jak 1?
Yeah.
Exact same mechanic. They just recycled it and changed the skin. And you didn't notice. You know why you didn't notice?
I did notice. Just to
But
throw that out
most
there.
people didn't notice because fluff, that mechanic was nowhere in Jak 2. They took a break from that mechanic, but they recycled it over to the third game. They didn't recycle it to the second game, so everyone was, you fucking lazy fucks, you just recycled the mechanic. That's a smart thing to do.
Ah, I see what they did there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is a very smart thing to do.
yeah.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because I see that a lot in Assassin's Creed.
Well, that's probably Assassin's Creed. That's because Assassin's Creed is an annual series, and I personally hate it now.
Well, I think it'll come back in 2017. I really do. I'm
Hopefully,
very
they're
excited.
doing the good. They're doing the right thing by taking a break. They are.
Hmm.
They're doing. I'll play that one because just to support them, like not releasing them every year.
Mm. I'm just excited for it because I'm just so glad to get out of this fucking initiate fucking arc.
Hmm.
So glad to get out of it. But anyways, continuing on with Jak 3. So basically what happens is they get back. They have to fight a war between Haven City with the Freedom League, which was once known as the Underground, which they originally linked up with in the beginning of Jak 2. And they fight the Metalheads and the KG Deathbots, which are working together, which are insanely fucking awesome enemies that are actually the KG robots actually made an appearance in Jak 2, and it was like a test run to see if they were actually good enemies. But
Hmm.
in Jak 2, I fucking despised the shit out of them because they fucking kept getting me and I couldn't get my health packet.
They're much
So
harder in Jak 2.
everything's much harder in Jak
That's
2.
true.
Everything is. So, I mean, but continuing from that, following Jak 3, the next three releases took on less of an overarching plot. And so the next game in the title we have is called.
Jak
What's it called?
X. Now, I'm going to tell you a very scary story about Jak X. During the development of Jak X, just like the development of Crash Team Racing, few people from Naughty Dog got their PlayStation 3 development kits. PlayStation 3, if you don't know, was an incredibly hard system to develop for. They had a cell processor in it which made everything fucking impossible to do. So, when people were done when while they were making Jak X, so many people were leaving during the development of Jak X and during the development of what would eventually become Uncharted, because they didn't want to work with the PS3. Naughty Dog went on record and said we actually thought it was the end of Naughty Dog because they could not fucking get anything running on the PS3. They were working so long hours. Like, people from the Jak X team were going over to the fucking PS3 team to try and help out, and then the Jak X was like, hey, we have a deadline to meet here, hey, do this in Jak X. Oh no, you have to fix this bug here on fucking this PS3 engine we're trying to make. Oh no, Jak X needs to be shipped tomorrow. Oh, we've not done. It was people were leaving every single day, and it was like the most stressful time in Naughty Dog's history, they have said. And I fucking can imagine so. But anyway, Jak X got out, and Jak X, to me, was a fantastic racing game.
Me, on the other hand, when I first played it, I mean, if I known all that and if I cared about that back then, I would have felt some sympathy. But when I first played it initially, I was like, this fucking sucks. To sound like a dickhead, I was just like, this fucking sucks. This is not what I wanted.
That's not what anyone wanted,
It was
really,
probably
but
it's probably not what anyone really wanted,
yeah.
but it really grew on mostly everyone
Yeah.
because it was like the most solid story after Jak 3,
It is
which had a shitty ending.
I'm gonna say this here, and I'm probably gonna be fucking flamed for it. This game has the best story in any racing game in history.
I agree.
And I don't play racing games, so I'm really not of the liberty to fucking say that. But out of every racing game I've played, which is a lot, considering I don't like racing games, my fucking family or my brother used to be really into them. He like bought every racing game on PS1, and PS2, well, he was kind of grown out of PS3, grew out of gaming. But yeah, I played a lot of racing games. That is the best story. It's probably one of the only racing games with an actual story, but it's the best story in a racing game in history.
Probably the only reason why you would really think that is because of the fact that you're a Jak and Daxter fan,
that's true.
nonetheless.
That's true.
I mean, but I have played other racing games myself, and Jak X is just whether or not it was Jak or if it was Ratchet. If Ratchet made a racing game, that'd be kind of cool, actually. But I mean, if anything, I mean, that story is just incredible. And I mean, the cutscenes for it, there's actual cutscenes, you know? I mean, you could customize your cars, make it whatever color you wanted. And, it was just
And
amazing.
it had
But are you done
variety.
with
It wasn't just, hey, let's just race down this track here and try and win. You fucking had, like, have 10 different types of modes, 10 different types of races, 10 different variations of every single race. It was a jam-packed game. It had so much. And again, they made this game in under a year. Had it done that, I don't know. It's a whole new engine in under a fucking year. You know?
Mm-hmm. So, do you have any more technical things you want to talk about, or
Not until I have a lot for Uncharted, but we're not doing that yet.
that's not even in this fucking episode? So, anyways,
I have
so
a feeling we're
in
forgetting
Jak,
something. Oh no,
no, we've covered the
no,
first Jak.
we covered the second Jak. We covered Jak 3, Jak X, Daxter. No, we got everything.
Yeah. Okay. So Jak X, combat racing. Sorry. In Jak X combat racing, Rain, who is Crew's daughter, and you kill Crew in Jak 2. Just
Spoilers.
gonna say that. Spoilers. Rain invites Jak, Daxter, Samos, Kira, Torn, Ashlyn, and a few other lovely people to the reading of Crew's last will. That's kind of a dark, scary thing. Now that I read it and image that in my head, I'd imagine that to be a much scarier setting than how it turned out. They soon learn that Crew poisoned the drink, so he still had one last ace up his sleeve. So
That's so Crew.
um,
That's something Crew would fucking do.
it's such a Crew thing to do. Oh, Crew, why are you so Crew? um, they soon learned that Crew poisoned the drinks, and they ordered. She pretty much like told them that they have to race and they have to win in order to fucking race against Mizo against Mizo in the Crash City Grand Championship. So basically, he made it say, "You're gonna race for me. You're gonna win, or you're gonna die." Pretty fucking shady, if you ask me. And which is an incredible story. I mean, that's a fucking awesome story. And Daxter pretty much details. It's cool because like they go back, like Pecker and Daxter, they go back to like events from like Jak 2 and Jak 3 and stuff, and show like you have like Pecker on the screen. Like, and you know what I noticed about Pecker?
What?
He always tries to get to the top of the chain.
What do you mean?
You notice that?
Oh, you're right. Actually, yeah. Holy shit.
Always tries to go to the top of the chain.
Yeah.
First in Jak 3 with fucking Deimos, he tries to become like his right hand man.
Yeah.
And fucking whatever that fucking guy's name is, I forget his stage name was. I know he's Mizo. Spoilers, but what was his other name? Forgot.
Oh, what? It's a fucking blonde-haired fucker. I can't think. Oh, he's gone from my head. Hold on. I'm gonna do some massage to my head and look it up on Google. Characters. No, this is gonna annoy me. I need to. What's his name? Load.
I don't know why, but when I think about him, the only name that comes to my head is like something like Ric Flair or something.
Just a
I
rest.
don't know. I know it's a wrestler. But he just has a name like that that's really flary.
Ric Flair. That's just okay. So Ric Flair, I can't remember his fucking name.
Okay, so we're gonna call him Ric Flair from now.
Yeah.
Ric Flair is actually Mizo.
Whoa!
So actually, now that I think about it, he kind of looks like Donald Trump. He's got that fucked up hairstyle and everything.
I am not
And
referencing
it's
Donald
blonde.
Trump again in this podcast. Let's just call him Ric Flair.
Okay, Ric Flair. So pretty much, he, the whole storyline is pretty much more of a conclusion to the story. It could be a conclusion, but it's still not good enough because Jak 4, you know. But anyways, it pretty much ends up with Mizo getting blown up, Jak saying a badass line, "Oh, you're used to letting people fucking die and shit." And he's like, "Yeah, you get used to it." Explosion. And then finally, Daxter, Jak finally gets the girl that he's always wanted, fucking Kira, and all that good shit. And they finally do that kiss that they literally have been trying to do for the past fucking how many years?
I'm surprised
in the story?
Kira isn't fucking pissed off at Ashlyn.
I know, right? She did kiss him at the end of Jak 3.
Maybe not. Maybe she just like patted him on the shoulder, and it was just that weird camera angle. We never saw the kiss.
I saw the render.
Fuck you! It didn't happen!
It happened.
It didn't happen!
And he grabbed her by the waist too.
Oh god almighty.
Anyway,
Fun fact about that cutscene, they were actually originally going to have Ashton pull down Jack's scarf.
oh yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember hearing that in the commentary.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally, after Jak X, nothing else happened.
Yeah, nothing. Daxter happened, so that was awesome.
Well, we already talked about Daxter.
Yeah, no.
But anyways,
Let me
why don't
think.
we get
No,
into some of the
let me just-
technical
let me
stuff?
just-
The thing that we have to do it. It's a history. So, without beating around the bush, let's get right into it. The Lost Frontier.
What's that?
I will enlighten you, Keith. It is a game created by High Impact Game. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to go through the technical and the story, okay? Right now.
I never heard of this game.
It
I'm
is-
intrigued.
Me too. It is a game that was made by High Impact Games.
Never heard of
It
them.
was originally made. It was going to be made by Naughty Dog, but
Okay, yeah, can I talk about this? Because this is actually really interesting. I know about this. This game, whatever it's called, Naughty Dog was going to make this game, right? It never got released. But Naughty Dog was going to make this game called Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier. And this is still during the PS3 crisis. So yeah, after Jak X was shit, they're like, yeah, let's move on to a new Jak game because this PS3 thing is fucking. I don't want to deal with this right now. So they started developing in pre-production Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier. You can actually look up some original They actually look up some original cinematics from the game. Yeah, they wrote the story was going to involve Jak and Daxter going back. Jak going in the Rift Rider and going back to Sandover Village and going like through portals, like fucking time travel, and like going back to Sandover Village and going back to whatever to try and like put these. Most of these are rumors. What I'm saying here, so don't take these with a grain of salt. But they're basically like gonna like there's gonna be like a war, and they're trying to prevent like a fucking crazy Dark Maker war, and like it just sounded incredible. It really did. I can't really explain it very well, but yeah, it sounded amazing. But unfortunately, the PS3 was like, oh, I'm a fat hog. Everyone come work with me. And they're like, we can't make this game. Everyone has to work on the PS3. Everyone fuck that to someone else and let's work on the PS3. And they're like, okay. And they handed it over to High Impact Games, which seemed like the perfect developers because they are ex-Insomniac and ex-Naughty Dog members. But then the game got cancelled and was never released, and we never talked about it again.
So, in all truth, the game was released.
The game was
sadly,
never
and
released. I turn it off my headphones. I don't hear this.
Okay, so the game was actually released, and basically, The Lost Frontier sees Jak and Daxter and Kira fly in an airship to the Brink Island, which has never been fucking talked about before, and it sounds completely ridiculous. Part of the world that the Precursors did not finish. Holy shit. That's a pretty cool idea, but still stupid. To find out how to solve the eco shortage. So now there's a random eco shortage that was barely really touched base with in any of the other games. It was mentioned, and it was, yes, a problem, but it wasn't such a big problem to where the world was starting to fucking fall to pieces, in which they became involved in a conflict between Aeropa and
Pirates.
How fucking ridiculous does that sound?
Pirates!
It sounds stupid. Obviously, the game did not do well, and if you would like to hear a list of all the games released, the first game in Jak and Daxter history was called The Precursor Legacy, released in 2001 on December 3rd, right? December or November 3rd.
It has a total Metacritic rating of, I'm going to actually look up the ratings here. So, yeah, we're going to run through a list here of the Jak and Daxter ratings. So the ratings every Jak and Daxter game got. This is only critics rating, so these are all snobby bastards don't know much about games anyway, but it is the fairest way to do it, because other than that, it's just fanboys or fucking people that hate the game. So Jak 1, Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy, got a Metacritic rating, this is what the total rating, an overall rating of 90 out of 100.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insanely good. That's an incredible.
Move on to Daxter, since Daxter's technically the next one.
Daxter got a Metacritic rating of 85 out of 100.
Wow. Wow.
Jak 2 came out and they got a Metacritic rating of 87 out of 100.
Wow.
And Jak 3 came out, it got a Metacritic rating of 85 out of 100.
Damn.
These are all very, very high scores. Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier. Never heard of it.
No, good.
That must be some flash game
Give
or
it.
something.
Give the fucking rating. Just give the fucking
It
rating.
has a Metacritic rating of 71.
It's still a good rating for like a decent, normal, not really all that impressive kind of shitty game.
No, the reason I have a bargain to pick with is because Jak X Combat Racing got a Metacritic rating of 76.
Which I actually can agree with it, since it had nothing to do with the fucking any of the original game mechanics, and it getting a rating that high. They're doing something good there, you know.
That's true. That's true.
So
So yeah, the main series, Jak 1, Jak 2, Jak 3, and Daxter, you could say were all critically acclaimed. Jak X and Jak Lost Frontier were just good, apparently.
and all of the games were published by none other than Sony Computer Entertainment.
And I think that would wrap it up. Do you have anything else to say there, Nick?
Oh, we are forgetting about one specific piece of information.
What?
There's a compilation, two compilations out there.
Oh, yes.
They are actually there's a few things that were released in this kind of tumultuous time with Jak and Daxter, because this really, when shit started getting hard for them, like really, really hard, it basically noted the end of the series in a way. So basically they released all of the, what was that movie thing? It was a movie.
They released this with pre-orders of Jak X. It was the Jak and Daxter Trilogy movie. You got a DVD. I fucking wish I pre-ordered that game now for that fucking disc. You got a DVD with the game, which was Daxter commentating over all the previous game's cutscenes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it. Daxter Master uploaded it, and it's very good.
You should put a link in the description
I
below.
will. I'll put a link in the description too if you want to watch it.
Anyways, but aside from that, in 2012, right? 2012, right?
2012.
Or was it 2013?
Hold on, I have the case here beside me.
Good on you.
2012.
Okay, in 2012, they came out with the Jak and Daxter collection, which arguably was the full collection of the full trilogy. In my honest opinion, I would have liked them to include Daxter and Jak X into it. It would have made it a definitive collection, maybe with some online action with
Jak X would be
Jak X
online.
Me and Keith wouldn't be doing this right now. We'd be playing that. Trust me. Anyways, so they made a release. They fucking literally. Since Keith already told you how hard it was to do anything on PS3, imagine how difficult it was for them to make this game look as good as it did in a remastered fucking way.
Which is why
on a PS3.
Which is why
it was impossible.
Yeah, literally. This is why Naughty Dog is like, Sony came to them and asked, "Hey, do you want to make a Jak and Daxter collection?" Like, yeah, sure. Here's the code. Give it to them lads over there. We'll work on Uncharted 2. Thanks. Uncharted 3, sorry. No, we were working on The Last of Us. We'll continue working on The Last of Us when we give the code here for the Jak and Daxter trilogy. Here's the 3 games from the PS2. Good luck, lads! Yeah, bye!
Yep.
They want nothing to do with
still.
it. You know why? Because they said it was a fucking impossible task.
But they did it.
They did it somehow. They managed to do it. They had a lot of help from Naughty Dog, in fairness, but they did. They managed to, and they made a very good collection. Of course, it has its bugs. It does have a few technical hitches, and a lot of things that weren't in the previous games. But the game looked fantastic, and you would never notice if you hadn't played them before.
Well, there's other things that kind of ties into the trilogy movie thing with Daxter commentating, and there was a little thing here that said that Jak and Daxter series has not received any major releases in media outside of the games, other than there was a release of the movie DVD for the Jak and Daxter trilogy. There was
I'll look on Amazon, see if that's on Amazon actually. If it is, I'm fucking getting it right now.
So, anyways, pretty much, this wraps up this episode.
Hold on, we're forgetting one thing.
Agenda.
I want to go on a rant.
What are we forgetting?
I want to go on a rant about. So yeah, as I said, it was an impossible task to make the HD collection, but somehow they did it on PS3, and then Sony were like, "Wow, that's done very good on PS3. Hey lads, do you want to do it on Vita?" And like, I could have sworn that a few people hung themselves when they heard that, and yeah, they were like doing it, and they were like, "Oh no." Oh my god! Fucking release the thing! I can't look at it anymore! And then the Vita version happened, and the Jak and Daxter trilogy on Vita is a steaming pile of shit. Please don't buy it.
Exactly. Okay, so I guess to continue to end this properly.
Just an hour long.
Okay, I guess just to end this properly. The future of Jak and Daxter. Touchy subject. Very touchy subject. You see, Naughty Dog wants to make another Jak game because they did not like the way how it ended with fucking the Lost Front. Fuck you. So instead of that, they tried hard. There's concept art out there. There's the book.
The book. Yeah.
That's another piece of media. The book, the Naughty Dog book, which highly details a lot of content, a lot of drawings of the
all
Jak
Jak
4.
games. All Jak games.
All the Jak games, and also Jak 4.
Why didn't they make
which and the more that time passes by and the more that you look at those pictures, at first if you just look at them at first glance, you're like, this looks like shit, no wonder they didn't make it. But the more you look at it, the more amazing it becomes. More amazing the more you look at it, the more the potential you could see with the atmosphere, the surroundings, the fucking setting drawings, all that shit actually starts looking more and more and more amazing. But there's also a lot of people on like Facebook, Twitter, but probably a bunch of other fucking social media sites.
You turned into a woman there. Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, Facebook and Twitter. But anyways, there's a lot of people out there literally trying so hard to make fucking movies about fucking Jak and Daxter,
Make
fucking
actual
video games. Making, like everything. And me and Keith can proudly say that we were part of that whole movement, and really, we don't really regret it, but we're definitely glad to have gotten out of that because there's a lot of Jak bastards in there. I mean,
Jak bastards. Jak bastards is like a name we came up for some Jak fans that are just hostile, fucking crazy, like lunatics. Like they want to fucking burn down Naughty Dog if they don't make Jak. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, they like spam the fuck out of them constantly, like Jak 4, Jak 4, Jak 4. I mean, saying Jak 4 isn't gonna fucking make them.
It's just gonna annoy them. It's gonna be like, if fuck yous, if you were the people that want Jak 4, not making it for you.
Yeah, I mean, but there's communities out there that really want Jak 4.
Like
I myself came up with a theory, and we're trying to get a little show going on with that, and we just need to find some more people to, do it.
We have people, but we need more.
Mm-hmm. And we're just trying to get the word out, that Jak 4 is something that should be given a little bit more time, to look into. Because I could see Jak 4 on the PS4.
I mean, I see why I could, but let me tell you something I see. A lot of people are saying, and I do understand this argument, that Naughty Dog are so successful now. They are arguably the most well, in my opinion, they are the best developers in the world, but in most people's mind, they are now the best developers in the world. A lot of people are saying, when they say, hey, should we go back to Jak and Daxter? A lot of people are saying, no, we can't go back to cartoony platformers. They're great games, but people won't get it. People expect games like Uncharted and The Last of Us from us now. People expect realistic fucking story-driven experiences now. If we go back to Jak and Daxter, people will fucking laugh at us. That's...
Oh, I completely disagree.
But I disagree too. But that's the mentality, and that's how people would react. In fairness, that is how the general public like, "Ha! What are they doing? Fucking idiots going to fucking cartoony games, fucking for kids."
It doesn't have to be so cartoony though.
But they tried that, and they tried that with the remake.
They need to reboot it. They need to reboot it right.
They tried, yes.
That's the thing. They need to reboot it right, and it's a very daunting task, and it would take a while to figure out how to do it. Yes, people would probably laugh at them, but if you've ever played a Jak and Daxter game,
you'd be happy
and actually kind of enjoyed it, you'd feel that tingle sensation that goes up your spine when you see Daxter or Jak getting pissed off, or the emotion. Any emotion in that game. If they added just a small tinge of realism to it.
Nick, sorry, I have to stop you there. This is really good. It's really, really good. But we need to save it for another podcast. We need to save this for a podcast later down the road, because this could be a full episode.
Very true, very true. So we're going to stop here, but the future of Jak and Daxter may be dim, but there's still a light shining. And until next time, fucking Naughty Dog Nights.
What the fuck is that?
Fuck yeah. I don't know. Call them Naughty Dog Nights.
That's actually growing on me. Naughty Dog Nights.
Actually, better word for it. Naughty Dogs. Until next time, Naughty Dogs.
Yeah, good luck.
Guys,
this was a Xenobyte production. Oh man, that said a nice thing.
Oh yes, it did. This is a Xenobite. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
What Keith said. Xenodive Productions.
All right, lads.
New
Thanks for listening for an hour and 4 minutes. Thanks very much, and yeah, good luck.